Hey guys, and welcome to episode 4 of Prems Vlogs, which is my little vlog series that I've got going. I just want to thank you so much for all the support, etc., that I've received so far for any of the vlogs that I've done so far, which are the past 3, obviously. I'm so sorry about there's been a very, very long gap between this vlog and the last vlog that I did. I've had a lot of stuff going on. In general, just had a lot of stuff going on, which means I haven't had time to film it. I do keep saying, for those of you who do have an Instagram, that it's dropping this week, and then something or the other happens, and it's just taken a while to upload. But we're finally doing it, finally getting recorded, it's finally getting uploaded. I did mention, I think about 3 weeks ago now, that this week's topic, or this vlog's topic, was going to be mental health. Recently, it's something which has been discussed a lot within my own little like my circle of friends. Example, it's something we've been having discussions about, and it kind of inspired me to really want to do this as a topic because I feel like it's something which, in general, is not well talked about. It's not brought up correctly. It's just there's so much stigma surrounding it still, and that shouldn't be the case. So it's kind of, I want to encourage you guys that, you know what, if you're struggling, speak out. This is going to sound very, very stereotypical, but men do not talk about it as well as women do. And that needs to be changed. Like, guys, we need to understand that, like, you have to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, you're going to drive yourself up the wall. Me personally, you know, we all suffer with issues. I suffer with it as well. I'm not going to go into what my issues are, but you know, I do suffer with it. Like, you know, I understand when people come up try to talk to me. You know, I might have a friend who one day might just ring me crying, one day might should be absolutely fine. And the one thing is, I'll always turn around and say to them is, you don't need to explain yourself to me, because I understand what they're going through in that sense. Because we talk about it with each other. Like, I'll talk to them about my problems, they'll talk to me about theirs. So when we get like that, all we have to do is call each other, and we'll just go around, we'll bob around to each other, and we might cry, we might laugh, but when you understand it, when you understand what a person's going through, when a person talks to you, it enables you to empathise with them and to know exactly what they're going through. So, you know, really, really, guys, we do need to be talking about this. It's not an issue that we can hide, because hiding it really does make it worse. I mean, I've tried to deal with it on my own in the past. I dealt with it, but it's very, very hard to do. And when you're on your own, it's horrible. Honestly, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's so, so horrible. I don't ever want to have to go through it on my own ever again. And, you know, you need to talk to people so people understand what it is you're going through. If you don't talk, how's anyone going to know? They're not. So we need to be bringing it up. We need to be having discussions. People need to understand about it. People need to understand how to understand it. Because some of the times the issues is you're talking to someone, they haven't got the foggiest idea what the earth is you're on about. Or they might say, oh, yeah, but you're not that. Oh, you might say, oh, yeah, I have depression because I have ... You know, I do this is how I feel. And they might then just turn around to you and say, oh, well, you're not depressed. That's not what it is. Just because someone looks happy and smiley on the outside all the time does not then mean that they don't have depression. You know, sometimes I have days where I get really, really down. Sometimes I have days where I'm absolutely fine. I'm perfectly happy. It happens. But just because you portray to everyone else that you're fine does not mean that you are. And if someone opens up to you about it, all I want to say to you guys is encourage you. Don't shun it. Accept it. If they're telling you they have depression, then do what you can to help them. Don't respond by turning around and saying, no, you don't. I mean, obviously, I think we also need to get away from this using it out of context. Like, if you're just having a shit day, for example, oh, I'm so depressed. I've been so depressed recently. When you haven't, they're using it as an over-exaggerated statement to describe how they're feeling, and that's not right. We need to move away from that. In the same way, it's like saying, for example, like, it's kind of just like, it's making the word lose meaning. Basically what it is. If you want to revert, for example, in the gay community, for example, to describe an object as gay, oh, why have you got that laptop? Oh, that's so gay. That's not right. You can't do that. Like, don't get me wrong. I know there's going to be people out there who are going to be like, oh, freedom of speech and all this lot. Yes, you're mostly entitled to freedom of speech. But something like that, it's like demeaning, for example, to say, oh, that laptop's gay. for example, it's you can't just come home from oh I'm depressed. I've had such a depressing day. It just takes it out of context. It takes it away from what the actual thing is, and I personally feel like it makes people not understand as much. Um, so yeah, I mean, this week's is just a short one. I feel like I can talk more, but by me talking more, I'm just gonna repeating myself about what I've already said. And basically, the moral of this is, I know I have already repeated it throughout the video, but it is talk. Talk about it. If you're struggling, let someone know. Struggling in silence is the worst thing you can do. Honestly, I did it. It's horrible. It tore me apart inside. And like sometimes you're not strong enough to deal with it again. And sometimes you do need to talk to people. So let someone know. If any of you haven't yet checked out my previous videos, I'll put a link to the last video that I did, which was on the gay scene. I'll put that in the bio below. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and there's so many people out there. If you are struggling mentally, if you don't want to talk to, for example, your doctor, there's other people who can help. Mind is a great charity. They really help people with mental health issues. They're great to talk to. There's so many helplines out there that you can just call anonymously. You don't even have to tell them who you are, and they can just give you some really great advice on how to deal with things. For those of you who are at university and struggling with it, I'm sure university has like a student support services or student support section. Go talk to them. I know you might not want to, but they've got some really great advice. They really can help. So yeah, I don't know when the next video will be out. Next vlog. You know what I mean. I'm trying to get back into the routine of things. I'm trying to get them done every week on a weekly basis. Like I say, I have had a lot going on. Next week should be good. So next week vlog will be out. I can't tell you what it's on yet because I haven't yet decided. I've got a few ideas floating around in my head. As I do say in all my previous videos, if there is something you want to see, you want me to talk about, you want me to address, you let me know. Message me, leave it in the comments, etc., etc. You guys know what to do. Thumbs up, subscribe. Cool. And I will see you guys when I see you.